See if we get anybody in here. Hello, Sooty. Hello, Reiki. Just going to wait for a few more people. If you can whack that like, do the hearts, just tap it as much as possible, because trying to get as many people in here tonight as possible. Get a big discussion going. Get a load of resellers in there. Before we start talking, I thought, come on, I've just listed something that I bought and yeah, that'll be in tomorrow's video. But yeah, we will start talking when there's some more people. So like it, that's it. Not laugh, like it, love it, heart it. I need to find a charger for this. This is an old phone I found in the house, but it's an iPhone. I don't know what model it is, because I don't think you can tell from the serial code down there. But yeah, obviously it might be worth a bit of money. It's one of them chargers, but that's not the modern one. It's the one when it converted. So guys, if you can like it on both ways, so like it in the actual channel, so give it a thumbs up. Comment as well. If you're in this chat now, comment down below. Just say hello, get some interaction going. Let's get as many people on here talking about reselling as possible. We want to have a discussion, because this could get a heated topic, right? If people start interacting with this, we could get some good conversations going, because I think no one really knows. 35 people in the chat. Yes, that's what we want. I have got it open, so we probably we'll get a load of weirdos in here, but hopefully Liam will come in, and he is a moderator now, so he is my little employee, and he will sort it out. 17 now, so obviously there were the people just scrolling, blah 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 blah. People, come and say hello, say your name, where you from, who are you, what do you do, are you a reseller? Because this is a reselling channel, so you need to obviously talk about reselling, and then we'll talk about some rubbish after, as we always do. Thank you for all the hearts. Heart it, like it. 17 people in here, like it. Now there's 12, so obviously it's a bit like when you go public, so everybody can join. You're gonna the views and people coming in are gonna go up, and then they're gonna go down. They're gonna go up, and then they're gonna go down. So it's one of them. There should be a happy medium of people coming. So 13 people, and only 2 people spoke, and that's Sooty and Reiki. Reiki, who are you? I've never seen your name before, what I can remember. Sorry if you have came on live, but I can't remember. Where you based? What do you resell? How's your sales been in the weekend and all that lot? Are my chats working? Retouch screen, green screen. Great. Hi, I'm new to reselling, but followed before. I'm from Durham, and I sell mainly clothing. Great, you're in the wrong channel for this. if you're new, well, if you're new to reselling, I'm not really a clothing reseller, but I do sell clothes. But I have got this big, long hate for clothing resellers because I always say they're boring. I don't mean in a bad way. I just think they all like very similar, and they all seem to be very obsessive about clothing. And when a person like myself comes into reselling, or people that sell everything, they don't seem to like don't want to know us. If you get me, they feel like we're a threat to them, or we don't know nothing else other than buying everything. They think that because we don't do clothing, that we don't know anything about clothing, and we do. We know just as good. We're just as good as them in clothing, but we expand our field because what. And this is a good actual point because you're actually bringing up the subject now about who is a good reseller. How do you know if you're a good reseller? How do you know people you're watching are good resellers? How do you know yourself you're a good reseller? And there's loads of obviously reasons. Obviously, making loads of money is the main one, but obviously making money can bring a cost of, I know, other problems. I would say the more money you make, the more money you're paying out. I would say, unless you're very lucky and getting everything for free. More money you make, the more money you spend. Definitely. The more money you make, the more chance of a bigger downfall. So you see it a lot. Big companies, lots of money going bust because they have more money, so they spend more, thinking they'll get more money. Obviously, because they've got more to buy. And if you do it right, yeah, you can. But if you do it wrong, you just lose money. You know, if I was a millionaire, I could go and buy well, say if I was like I had £5 million in the bank, and I spent £1 million on stock. If I don't do it the right way, I actually could lose money, right? And that's what some of these big, especially clothing companies, do, and that's why they lose a lot of money and they actually go broke. Plus, they're high street ones, aren't they? Which obviously they have to pay a lot of rent. I find clothing boring, but I have branched out a bit. Clothing is boring. You can't admit clothing's. It's weird. Clothing can be the most interesting thing in the world if it's a certain thing you like. So if you're really into sports and you're into football, like I know, say like me, I'm into football a lot. If I could find loads of football gear, stuff like that, it'd be great. Like I like retro stuff as well, like old fashioned, 1990s sports stuff. I love that stuff. But when it comes to all the Nancy fancy posh stuff, the dresses. Sorry, but I'm not a girl. I'm not sexy, but I ain't got a clue about what is a maxi dress and a whatever dress. I haven't got a clue. I don't really care if they'll sell for 150 quid. I wouldn't even go in that area, right? We already know what charity shops are like. When we go into a charity shop, there literally is one shelf for toys, maybe 2, 3. One little bit in the corner, in the worst part of the charity shop, which is the men's section. And then the rest of the shop is all women's clothes. And that's the problem, right? Stop spending money on clothes, women, because you are spending too much, or you're getting your fella to buy you too many clothes and you're not using them. You're wasting money on clothing. Be like a man. Wear the same pair of jeans for the rest of your life. Because we do. Men wear their clothes and they wear it until it's basically there's nothing left of the clothing, But yeah. Clothing, I would say retro stuff, sports stuff is what I like. Hi, Andrea. Oh, hello. How are you? Is that Andrea? I'm on my phone at the moment. Is that Andrea? Is that Nick's Andrea? Because I'm on my phone, it's really small, the picture. Yeah. No. Okay, are you a fake one? How are you? Where are you? We all want to see a video. My eBay sales have slowed down a lot recently. What are you selling? And where are you selling? Obviously selling on eBay, but are you just focusing on eBay? I always say if you're doing clothing, you have probably got the best amount of platforms to sell stuff because you got eBay and Vinted and Depop. You've obviously got your whatnots. That won't begin with a V that no one ever goes on. Probably other ones as well. Probably, very particular ones. But yeah, when it comes to other stuff, eBay is king when it comes to stuff. Toys and collectibles, electrics. So you're a bit like me then. eBay's so maybe your prices are too high. Lower your prices. Don't just look at the sold and think I can get that price because it's sold for that price. Because sometimes your item might not be in as good condition as theirs, or they might have more stuff with it. If it has, then stick it to that price, and then think how much do you actually pay for it. So if you've got an item that's you paid £5 for it and it's worth £100, do you really want £100 and have it hanging around for a long time, or would you be happy with like 85 and it'll probably go straight away because it'll be cheaper than anybody else? Everybody sticks to them prices. I always say if you pay a lot for something, so if you pay like £50 for something and you're gonna get £100 out of it, then obviously try and keep it to the max because obviously you've paid a lot for it. But wait, if you pay for something, a couple of quid for something, you can get like £30 and you're trying to push 40, is it really worth it? I always wondered what happened with you and the Irish. I remember it always used to be on the news here in the States. It was pretty nasty between you and the Irish a long time. That's wow, that's like the 70s, 80s, 90s. Yeah, all the IRA and all that lot. Shame Big Al's not here because Big Al is actually from Northern Ireland. He know a lot about it more than me. Yeah, I'm not even bothered about that stuff. It wasn't my era, so yeah. Blackpool just started reselling, so building up. But would love to me to be well. What you got to think, I went from being a manager, I was a normal person, normal retail staff member, then I went to a supervisor at B&M, and then I eventually became a manager. Then I quit after 2 weeks because my dad died and they was being horrible and they wouldn't let me mourn for my dad. So I told them to stick the job up the backside. I literally said that to them. There was a new manager that came in while I was obviously grieving for my dad and sorting my dad out. And I went cold turkey. Luckily, I had my dad's car. I had then sold my car, so I had some money to do what I wanted to. I started in pallets, so I bought like return pallets, made a bit of money out of that. But then I saw people on YouTube making money from going to car boots, and I thought, yeah, I could do that. Plus, I also did YouTube, but I did it in fitness, and I thought, yeah, I could do that just as good as them, probably better. And yeah, I've been doing it for free. This is my fourth. Is this my third year or my fourth year? I can't remember. Yeah, and I've never worried about money, sort of like that. Sometimes you do worry about money, like, oh God, I've had no sales, or all my bills came out, or like this week, eBay have stopped me having my money because they're doing checkups and they do that to everybody. So go and watch that video if you haven't watched it, because yeah, it will happen to all of you if it hasn't happened to you before. eBay will stop your money for at least 3 to 5 days and you cannot get any money out. So I always say, take your money out of eBay. Do not let it stack up and say, well, I'm going to keep it in there to pay my bills at the end of the month. Don't. It's better being in your bank, so they can't stop you from taking money out. And I'm not saying they want to keep your money, because they're multi-billionaires, aren't they? But if they choose your account to have a look if it's all kosher and that, you can't get the money out. So then you're stuck, basically. I need to think. I need to review my prices and do 15%. I always say, if you're not selling much, stick a sale on. Stick a sale on for 20%. Just do it. Do it tonight. Set it up tonight and do it for a week and watch you have sales. Right, 20% off everything in your shop, and you will get sales. It will boost up. Also, if you're not listing every day, it will wreck your sales. It always does. You might be able to get away with it and stop for a couple of days if you're constantly listing, and then you stop maybe for a couple of days. It won't really affect it. But if you stop for a long time, don't expect any sales unless it's like very, very like good items. Say, for instance, popular items, or you're selling items which are so cheap and it's, they're worth loads of money. So yeah. Yeah, Jericho, I don't really want to talk about that. This is not a politics channel. If you want to watch politics, you need to go to a news channel. Sleepy John, nice name. Welcome to the channel. If you are new to this channel, I am a reseller. I buy stuff from carboots, from charity shops, from auctions. Tomorrow, I bought some stuff actually from an auction. That's at the video tomorrow. And I'm possibly looking about 300 quid in profit from the stuff I bought. So yeah. And yeah, if you're new to this channel, just subscribe to the channel. I am trying to get to 6,000 subscribers before my birthday. My birthday is on the July the 20th. So if I can get to 6,000 subscribers before my birthday, I'm really gonna do a nice giveaway. So yeah, if you are new, subscribe. I do daily videos. I do all sorts, from helping people, from doing like updates on eBay, Vinted. I have rants about stuff that maybe is not fair. Obviously do carboot videos, do charity shop videos, do auction videos. Yeah, I do all sorts. And I am collecting Lego for like years to come, because you can make big money in Lego when it's retired. Yeah, the charity shops seem to be my go-to. Well, charity shops, you still can find stuff, but they are getting more and more pricey. They will end up being outpricing themselves. Best charity shops to go to are the independent ones, not run by the big companies. Every area will have independent charity shops. So they're raising money that month for a dog's trust, or they're raising that money for a children's home in that actual area. They're the best ones, because it's always ran by little old grannies. None of them get paid. Not even the managers get paid, right? And they get all the support from the government. And yeah, they're the best ones. When I pick up good stuff, it's most of the time from them ones. Saw that. Yeah, great. Thank you. Have you listed anything today? Yep. Not seen a rant in a while. I did a rant sort of a couple of videos ago about eBay not stopping my money. It wasn't a major rant. I don't need to rant. To make me rant now, I've got to have something really, really like that's going to affect me. I don't see the point in ranting if I know I'm not losing any from it. I haven't been to a car boot for a while, so I always seem to get in trouble in car boots. There's always somebody who doesn't like getting filmed or has something to say in my videos, so you never know. I probably am going to a car boot this week. Get back into the swing of the car boots. I have got stock still, but there's not much stock to do. So yeah. Major rants on it. Yeah, but some people don't. Drama does sell stuff and it does get views, but also just general people. People that don't like confrontation and all that lot, if they see somebody ranting, they get put off by that person and that obviously that YouTuber, and it depending on what the situation is. If I'm proper going at someone and saying I'm going to knock you out and all this lot, yeah, they might go, oh, you're a bit of a psycho. I don't like people that fight, and then I can't get them in. I want to try and get a mixture of people in. So I want people who do like them videos, but if they don't get them videos, they still want to watch the normal videos because you know it's not normal to find ranting people every single day. It's just they are good, but when it comes to it, I only rant for a reason. I don't make up stuff to just have a moan. Some people do, but I don't. If it's something annoys me, I like to out it. Where some people just like don't say anything, and it just boils up in them. Oh, James, John, you are 85 kilos and 5'9". 85 kilos. Yeah. So, James, what's wrong with that? What's the laugh for? No, I saw a rant the other day with a troll. Felt sorry for you in the live. Yeah, that's what I mean. I mean, you on social media, you're always gonna have trolls, right? The more successful you get, the more people gonna try and hate you. They can't really wreck you because they're really not they're a nobody really. Their life is so bad that they actually cannot do anything in life to please themselves. So what their only way of pleasing themselves is trying to go at people. If they can wind somebody up online, that's why they come on live. You never see a troll. Well, you do see trolls in comments, but they can't get the point across where they can keep on digging on a live. And it's sad because if they actually focused all that attention and all that, they must have some really good what do you call it, determination to be a troll. If they focus that and put it into themselves, they could actually be doing what I could do. They could be miles better than me because obviously they're really passionate about being a troll. So, they can make it like funny and actually make their own YouTube channel or social platform calling themselves the troll. And all they do is they go around and make videos and put a mask on or something like that. Go, today I'm going to troll this big YouTuber, blah, blah, blah. And then, make something funny out of it, as long as it's tongue in cheek. But most of them are not, right? Most trolls are, there's two different sorts of trolls. You got the troll that doesn't know nothing about you. And then you got the troll who's actually in the same, like, category as you, maybe knows you personally, maybe knows you from the group you're in, so reselling group for me, and they know stuff about you, so they start saying stuff that, oh, you do this, you do that, blah blah blah, oh, you remember when you said this. So basically it was somebody I don't like, or somebody who's too scared to put their name, so they make up a fake one. And it's sad because I'm getting to them, right? I'm not coming to them. I'm not looking for them. They're coming on my channel to try and wind me up. But it doesn't work because all it does is give me more views, gives me more attention. So basically, them trolls are giving me a lot of attention and it's actually making my channel grow, because YouTube knows as soon as somebody comes on and see lots of comments. That's why I always say comment in the videos, like the videos and all that lot, because the more comments, the more likes, the video grows more and obviously the channel grows more. The more I can get as a bigger as YouTuber, the more I can do for you guys. So, if I'm getting loads of views, I can do massive giveaways. At the moment, I can't. I can do a little giveaway. I've done loads of giveaways. But if I was like at 50,000 subscribers, I could do a massive giveaway. I could do like a big cash amount of money. And because I'm making a lot of money from YouTube, but at the moment I have a lot of people watching but not subscribing. So it's just one of them. You all right, Jack? I think he must know you Go back to Gully Garms. That will give you something to... If I went back there, then there would be action. I'll give him a slap around the face. He's a con artist, man. He's a con artist. You know, when you see all these trades, I don't want to talk about it. I'll quickly talk. But you know, all these people that sell bulks of clothing, and you know, where you can get on Fleek and all this lot. They are reputable, decent. Well, most of the stuff is decent. You know what you're sort of getting with him. He'll just say you're getting a bundle of clothes. He won't tell you what you're getting, right? And most of the time, he'll probably do a good one where a lot of it's rubbish, what you struggle to get rid of, but he'll keep you in there because he'll put one or two pieces that are good. So then you'd be like, well, I'm going to get my money because I've got them two pieces. So then you'll go back. But in the end of the day, he gets a 20, I think it's a 20 kilo clothing bundle for about £2-3. And he sells a 10 kilo bundle for about 120. Yeah, that's how much. Sleepy John, that profile picture. What do you mean? Oh, I thought you were talking about me. Hello, Keith. Anyway, I need a cup of tea, but this has gone cold. I need a drink. My mouth's dry. How are you, Keith? You been good? You been what you been up to? So behind me there is something from the auction. So yeah, I got that. I'm just trying to think. I've still got trainers to list. I should be listing these trainers. You're falling asleep, John. I'm all right. Any plans to visit Big Out? I was gonna visit him, but obviously I've just I've got bigger plans. Afraid I've got bigger plans. I've got, you know, I've only got limited time. The only time I could actually go to him and see him is a Tuesday and a Wednesday, because that's when I'm kid free. But other than that, I'm not going anywhere because I'm not, you know, just getting rid of my kid just to go somewhere. So if it happens, it'll happen. But I don't know yet. I don't know because, like I said, I've got plans to do. I want to do my rooms up. I want to get this done. But me going somewhere, me going to like car boots every day, which I can do. But I think there's one day where I don't have to go to a car boot because it's not on. So, but well, there probably is, but I'd have to travel miles. But yeah, I want to do and sort out my situation before I actually do anything else. If you get me, you know, I've got a lot of things. I will go over there one time, but it won't be probably until after my holiday now, because I'm going on holiday literally in a month and a half time. So, you know, I've got bills to pay. You know, got clothes to get. You know, got my gym. I got, because you know my diet. I'm on my, what is the date? Yeah, second day of my diet, and it's still going fine. Not one whisper gold. Yeah, not one whisper gold. I shouldn't say that because I'm craving one now. But yeah. And tomorrow you will see. See, this is how like honest I am, and like you will see my body tomorrow in the video of what I'm looking like. It's just a short little thing. So then you can see the results of what it's going to be like from now until I go on holiday. So yeah, you're going to see a drastic change, because if you don't know, I used to be into fitness massive. I was going to compete in a bodybuilding competition as a natural bodybuilder. I've never took steroids, never would do. It's dangerous. I know people have died off it. And yeah, I want to get not like that, because that's too extreme. But I'm doing a diet which is just as extreme, just to get down to it. So I'm going to be proper miserable probably in the next week or so. At the moment, I'm in that like, I'm just thinking about my holiday, and that's getting me through it. The weather's good. Well, it's warm. So that's helping me. And I've still got lots of things to do. That's why I've got, I've got the room to do and taking photos. I can go to carboot. So if I keep myself busy, then I'm okay. Documenting the room makeover would be a good ride. I might. You're the second person. Somebody said do it live, and I went, I'm not doing it live. I am going to do a before and after, because the next time when I actually move, you're not going to see me doing this until that room is done, right? You're never going to see it. There's no point. I'll be outside. I'll be somewhere else. You know what I mean? I don't want to be in that room, and I don't want you to see like any old bed, any old junk. I want to see it all nice and neat. And then I can't really do that room without doing the decorating as well. So the table, this one behind me, I can't really put that in there because I'd have to move it then to decorate it. So it'd be like I'm doing two things that, double the work. It doesn't make sense. Whisper Golds. Don't talk about them, John. I'll have to block you if you talk about Whisper Golds. Next will be OnlyFans, John. I won't get nothing on that. You have to be a woman to do that. Went to a charity shop the other day. Prices were more than eBay. Disgusting considering they were giving it free. Yep, I've had that. I've even told people their stuff is fake in a charity shop. Some are all right with it. Some are like, oh no, we have somebody come in. So I'm like, oh, all right then. Well, but I've never told them what I do. Some of them. I never told them, well, I've got like almost 1,000 sales on eBay. And yeah, I do this for a living. I'm telling you it's fake, right? I've got one of them, but they're like, nah. But then other people, like with prices and that, you're like, you're never going to sell that. Like, because I know a girl in a charity shop, she's a manager, and she puts prices up high. And I'm like, still in there, still in the window. You've had it for 3 weeks. Should lower it. Hi, can you talk about eBay taxes, please? No. Not my sort of thing. I'm not an accountant. I don't do my stuff as well. My mom does my stuff. So, and then when my mom doesn't want to do it, I'll be getting somebody to do it for me. I'm not doing it. I ain't got time to do it. It's too much work, and the numbers have never been my strong thing. I can add up, I can times, I can take away, I can share, but doing spreadsheets and doing all that rubbish, it bores me. I'd rather be a clothing reseller than do that. People that do accounts, they're even more boring than clothing resellers. So yeah, and you know what? For the time it would take me to do it, and probably I would get really stressed from it. I'd rather pay somebody to do it for me. You only have to do it once a year. You just pay somebody. I think it's about 300-400 quid to do the tax return for you, right? And you could have a consultation with somebody. I've looked it up, and it's about 300 or 400 quid for somebody to come and do it. But if you earn so much, it's actually more. It's weird. So if you earn, the more you earn, the more you pay. You can get somebody. I think you can do pay monthly on some of them as well. So you know what? Cut out one of the things and pay that. So too lazy. It's not that hard. Yeah, but I have more outgoings than you. In like I have this. This is another thing. I will have to on my next tax. I will have to sort out a part for YouTube. I also have to do one for Vinted. I have to do one for eBay. I have now got some money from TikTok. I've made my first 100 quid on TikTok, which is not much, but I didn't do anything for it. Also, I have endorsements, so I get sent stuff, but I don't have to claim for that, but I could. Obviously, I buy stuff from all different places as well. I can't be bothered. You know what I mean? If you want to do it, then fair enough. But like I said, yeah, I've also got other things to do. You know, I've got a social life. I do stuff. So just keep Excel spreadsheet each time I buy something and track the mileage. Then down. Well, with my mileage, what my mom does is she just takes off about 20% because I use the car mainly for work. I don't use it for anything else except for traveling to the football. So she takes 20% off the mileage, I think. I think that's what she does, or something like that. Um, who sends your stuff? What do you mean sends my stuff? In what way? In what? The other thing about buying from carboot is you can't ask the sellers for receipts. I just keep a detailed log. You don't need that. You just say if you got like if you have a business bank account, then it's a lot easier because it's easier to document. But like I say, if I take out 100 quid for a car boot, I'll just obviously I'm buying stuff for the car boot, so I write all the stuff down what I bought from the car boot, and then obviously you see it come out of the bank, and that shows you where you've run it. So 3rd of July or 3rd of June today, I take out 100 quid. Then on the 3rd of June, I bought all this stuff. Yeah, you can't prove it. It could be all made up, but that's what reselling is. They can't do anything. My mate works for the tax man, right? He works, and he even says, they don't care about the small people. They don't really care. They want to get the people who are, scamming people. People who are driving around in Ferraris but claiming benefits. People who are apparently earning 10, 20 grand a year, but they've got a 5-bedroom house and it's paid off, and there's no proof of how they paid it, where they're getting all the money from. But you wouldn't be able to afford a house if you're only getting 20 grand. That's the sort of people they're after. My mom does all my stuff for me. Oh, endorsements. Oh, I've had printers sent to me. I've had about 4 label printers sent to me. So I gave 2. I've sold one. I used one. 3 actually. Yeah. I've had I've had a Mumbrin sent to me. I use that now. I had one anyway. And 2 is it Jensen's? I had 2 of them, and I said I'll only do a video about it if you send 2, so I can keep one for myself, and then I'll do the giveaway. So I did a giveaway, so you missed out on that, and somebody got it. The other one I sold for 110 quid, brand new. I've had quite a few things. Even when I was doing fitness, I had quite a few things. I had an offer from a company in Turkey saying, we seen your channel. We want 10 people to do a vlogging thing of their journey, and you will get your teeth completely free. So whatever you want with them, we'll do it for free. If you want the whole brand new set of teeth, veneers and all that lot, we'll do it for you. Checked it all out. It's all kosher. People have had it done before where YouTubers have been on there. There's a few celebrities that have been there, like not well known, but I've seen them, I recognise them. And I went, yeah, go on then. And then I didn't hear nothing off him. Says, oh, sorry, we've got the 10 people now. Maybe when we do it again, we'll contact you. I was like, well, that's good, isn't it? You shouldn't be sending loads of emails out to people. But yeah, I could have got 3 or 4 grand pounds worth of brand new teeth. Imagine that. I could look like Ryland or something. No, I wouldn't. I just have my teeth all done again and have them obviously whitened and all that. Take a pic of boot holes. Yeah, don't do that. There's no point in that. Don't see the point. That does not mean nothing to you. Got to remember, they can't even find tax dodgers and benefit people who are claiming benefit, and they're not even nothing wrong with them, right? They're not going to look at your pictures. They don't care, right? As long as you're not if you're, as long as you're taking money out and you're proving it that you're spending it on stuff, and obviously they know what you're selling as well, so they can have all your records of, if they want to, of your eBay and what's sold. If they wanted, they can ask eBay to, can I have everything that's blah blah blah's sold, and they can see every item, and then they can see your documents. If you have to send them all, obviously you'll have all the list of all the items you've bought, and then they'll say, "Hey, wait a minute! Oh, look, he did buy that. He bought that at a car boot." That's what he says, and that's what I do. I always put car boot when I've bought something from a car boot, so that's all I do. It's like buying something from Facebook Marketplace. You got no proof. What lights are you using to list? I am. Oh, what lights are I'm using these ones. Not telling you. I'm doing a video when I move into that room. I'm setting up my Amazon affiliate program, which I've got one, but I haven't used it for yonks. I'm going to set up everything I use, and I'm going to do a proper run through everything that I use. Then I'm going to have a link of everything I use. You can click on it if you want some of these lights, or you want the table, or well, or whatever, the camera, what I use. If you want to do YouTube, all the camera stuff and all that stuff, the whatever, right? Everything will be down there. Obviously, I've got the TikTok on there at the moment where my bags are on there, my tape. So they're really good. The bags are really good. Do you use eBay global shipping? Yeah, been using it since I was allowed. It's the best thing on eBay. See, that's the thing. eBay could do shipping for us and basically change it like Vinted. I think if eBay did the same as Vinted, where we don't have to deal with postage and all that lot, and he doesn't take it off, that'd be great. But eBay are so greedy. They take fees off your postage. What that has to be against the law. If a customer's buying something, you know, especially if, imagine you're just started out, or you're just selling one thing, and then you're selling something cheap, and then you can't actually make any money out of it. You're selling something that's like £5, and then they take fees out of it, and then you've got like, I don't know, £2 profit, but then you've got to pay for it. I've had that before. It's horrible. When I first started, that's why you don't buy anything cheap. Just wondering what the longest amount of consecutive no sales days have had. I think it was about 1 or 2. I can sense when I'm not going to get this. It happens. Great to know, John. You put family. Yeah. In the end of the day, that's what I was saying. When I was talking about reselling and what makes a good reseller, it all depends on what you want. So if you're looking, I'm not talking about like YouTube resellers, I'm talking about YouTube resellers in general. If you are a reseller, don't focus on other people. So don't look at me and say, I want to be like John, because you're never going to be like me, right? You're not me. So you're never going to be like me, right? You could be miles better than me. You could be miles worse than me. But your worst could be brilliant for you, right? You know, you got single people out there, like Flipping Sloth. He's single. He's got a girlfriend, but he's got no kids. So he can do what he wants. He has got no one to look after. I can't do that. You know, luckily I have my mom. If I didn't have my mom, then I would be in a lot more trouble. I'd have to take my son around me everywhere. So I probably wouldn't do as many car boots. But also, money wise, some people don't want to earn a lot of money. Some people are just happy with what they've got. As long as they can pay their bills. Ricky's a great example of that. He just wants to pay his bills. Right? He's happy because of what he's doing now. And that's time with Ada. And that's what I do, right? I can make a lot more money if I wanted to, right? But then again, there's only so much money you can make from reselling. And that is, if you want to make lots and lots of money, going around car boots, going around charity shops, you're only gonna get a certain amount of money. You have to go massive upscale if you want to be making thousands of pounds a week. And that means buying in stock from companies. Maybe like what Big Al does, he buys stuff that's like shops that are closing down and stuff. But you got to have a lot of money to do that. And saying that, you don't make that much money from it. You make a lot of money because you've got a lot of it, but you're buying it and making a small percentage. Like Al said, he makes small percentages, but because he sells so much, I think he sold about 80 or 90 things today. Imagine that. That's more than what I do in 2 weeks. But his like eBay shop is massive. You know what I mean? It's massive. And he has so many overheads where I don't. You know what I mean? And in the end of the day, it doesn't matter what you do. It's if you're happy, right? I'm happy. If I went back into another job now, I wouldn't be happy, right? I wouldn't be making any more money. It'd only be a few jobs in the world that I would probably swap for this. A footballer, well, I'm not going to do that. I'm too old, right? I'm not saying I'm not good enough, but I'm too old. Yeah. Maybe I can't be a singer. I can't be an actor. Well, I could be. Or some miracle, I get on Big Brother or something like that. And then something comes from that where I set up my own reselling program. And that I've always wanted that. That would be an amazing program, having a reselling program. But because imagine having all these antique shows, they do all that. What about a reseller going around charity shops and then buying stuff and then selling it on? Going into houses and your normal houses where they are doing antiques, but then going, right, we're going to declutter your stuff. We want to see what we can sell. Wow, what's that in there? That's a bread maker. Do you use it? Oh no, I've only used it once. There you go. That's 35 quid on eBay. And then just get it all up. And then at the end of the show, I've raised blah, blah, blah. This is how much money they're going to get. You know what I mean? And then obviously the show, they'll probably buy it off them. So because, eBay, we can't do a show and say 6 months later, the bread maker sold, but it'd be a good show, wouldn't it? I think it'd be a good show. Are you... What? I don't know what you're on about, mate. John Shepherd Reseller, with treasures stacked and stories untold, but while the listing waits in vain, he sneezes through profit and trade. Okay. It's time to post, but John just dreams of... John's a poet. Yeah, I've been using Vinted a lot more recently and seems to be getting a lot more views, interest, and keep more money as a seller. Yeah. I mean, whatever helps you. Is that a... What? Shut up. I like Big Al. Oh, here's Liam. Liam, there's a person with saying a Nazi sign tattoo. He needs to go, mate, if you can do that. Review East, whatever his name is. Can you get rid of him? I want to see if you can do it. Oh, well done. Look at him. That's my IT guru. I said if I become a massive YouTuber, I'm hiring him. Oh, Liam, I want to know how much you would charge for a YouTube banner and a logo instead of having my face. But something quite good. I could do it myself. I could draw it, but yeah. When are you planning on getting stuck? When all this stuff is done, because I don't really care about the Hoovers at the moment, because it's a grotty, dirty job, isn't it? Things in progressive, John, everyone is different. Yeah, it's whatever works for them. Somehow I don't think your show is an original idea. How many pickers shows are there? Not that many. Not in England. Gone. Okay. Do you manually list on Vinted? I don't use cross listing. I think it's a waste of money. If you've got like what? How much is it now? It was 12 quid something when I knew it out. If you've got that money to waste and you're too lazy to just go, if you're on two platforms, like I'm on Vinted and eBay, I always upload on eBay first. Unless it's under 10 quid, I'll stick it on Vinted and I don't have to put it on it. If it's on, I'll put it on eBay. Obviously, I use my phone, copy and paste the description, pull it over to the Vinted, copy and paste the title, pull it over to Vinted, put the pictures on, boom, straight away. It probably is just as quick. And also, I know it's me doing it. I know there's not going to be any troubles. I don't trust technology like that. Oh, I've just had an offer. Wait a minute, I just got an offer for something. Oh, 12 quid. I'm back. Did I go anywhere then? Did I go anywhere? Can I be a mod? No, John, you can't be a mod. Sorry, but I don't know you enough. Liam lives in my area, so yeah, and he's bought stuff from me as well, so I can trust him. And he knows I know where he lives. That's another good thing. I'd say Mr. Sloth would take them for it. No, he wouldn't. He wouldn't pay enough for them. I wouldn't make no money at all. I'm gonna do him. It's just getting around to him. You know what I mean? You'll understand why, because when I show you what I picked up today, you'll see in tomorrow's video. I can get more money from these, and they're tiny. I have 550 listings to copy on to. See, that's the difference from you to me. I started when Vinted was around as well. So I've always done eBay, Vinted, eBay, Vinted, eBay, Vinted. I would never, a lot of them don't. A lot of you people have always been eBay and you don't really bother. And some of you still aren't. Yeah. Jammy Dodger doesn't sell on Vinted. I don't know why. Sloth went on it, just suddenly couldn't be bothered doing it. And I don't get it, because the amount, if you sell the same thing, and they sell everything on there now, everything, even tech. If you have something for 60 quid on both platforms and it sells on Vinted, you're gonna get that 60 quid. On eBay, you're gonna not get that 60 quid, right? You can even lower it on Vinted, 10 quid less, and you'll make still more money than eBay. So it's a no-brainer. It's a no-brainer. Just pick out the items that you want to go on there, right? Do 5 a day, 10 a day, and list them. Simple. Trust me, you'll be making some money. Yes, it's back now. No, I went on Vinted. I had I had an offer, but I didn't know if it still carries on. So obviously done. So I won't do that again. Sleepy John is a troll. Liam. Oh yeah, I because I'm on my phone. All I can see is a bald man, and I just realised it was a good-looking bald man. I can't blow up the picture. When I'm on my laptop, I can. On my phone, I can't. Yeah, that's my mom, Liam. Anyway, so yeah, he's a troll. Just get rid of him. He hasn't really said anything bad, but just get rid of him. He's sad. He can look at my picture later tonight when he's in bed. I like the trolls. He hasn't said anything bad. Oh, he's gone. You basically he was like, no, finish him. Oh, Liam's brutal. He's like the Grim Reaper. This is great. I don't have to do anything. See, I'm not even paying you, Liam, but you I won't pay you anyway. Yeah, it seems like eBay baits everyone when they first announced no fees, private photos. Yeah, yeah, they just conned everybody. They made people come in thinking, "Ooh, we're gonna get all the private sellers," and then basically what they did then, they just completely destroyed the private sellers. There was no point even being a private seller on eBay, right? You're not getting anything. I mean, yeah, you're getting no fees and all that lot, but then they started the people. I've seen people moan about it. YouTubers, that ones that don't want to have a business account or try and fiddle around. Not mentioning no names, but they moan about because they put that little extra cost on it. What do you think Vinted do? They put a cost on it. They A buyer. That's the buyer's problem. It doesn't affect you at all. As a seller, it's the buyer it affects because they have to put that little insurance policy thing on the protection. That's it. And if a buyer wants something, they'll buy it. But the thing is, these private sellers are all resellers full time, and they just don't want to pay for anything. They want to get as much money for themselves as possible. It's because they're not actually that good as a reseller, and that's the thing. If you are a full-time reseller and on a private account, I wouldn't even waste my time bothering with them if they're on YouTube, because they are just they're a bit. I would say they're like tax dodgers, but they are paying tax. They just don't want to pay as much. But the thing is, which they don't realize, is because they don't get no fees, they're making more profits. So actually, they will be paying more tax, won't they? So if they do really well, but then obviously, if they make a load of sales, eventually eBay will move on to a business account, and then what do they do? What's his name? That George does it, doesn't he? He has like about 3 accounts. I don't rate him at all. He's an idiot. Just talks about stuff, you know, makes videos about, oh, I don't want to do anything bad. Oh, I don't like to talk about things, but they're the only videos that make him like get him a few views. And then he has his 3 accounts on eBay, just basically private, so he doesn't have to get no fees. It's wrong. It's disgusting. You can't trust people like that. It's like me saying, you know what, this is the best way of reselling, and like you got to be successful, and but you know what, go on a private account and basically just um, don't get no fees. You know what? If you ask any proper businessman, I'm talking about real successful ones, all these multimillionaires, yeah, they are doing it properly. What's going on here? Hello, Cheryl. What are you doing? The worst part is I'm just talking about like resellers, and basically what's George Reseller. Yeah, he has about 3 different accounts, and they're all private. Cheryl's like on a proper business person. You know what I mean? It's just I'm talking about like how can you trust like a reseller, who to watch basically and who not to. I'm not saying names and that, but people who try and moan about, oh, this and that and this and that. I know I have a private account, but I'm a full-time reseller. You're not. You know what I mean? You're not. Why? You're just trying to scrimp and save money, right? If you're good enough at reselling, you would have to be on a business account, and that's the fact. If you are not on a business account, you're either small and you're growing to be a business account, or you're just trying to become, like I would say, you want to be classed as a proper reseller, and you're just trying to cut corners because you don't want to pay that extra bit. Shell is the prime example of what I'm going to say in a minute. And she always says about this. It's about you try and sell your stuff and now hire a shop, and you'll be paying a lot more money trying to sell your stuff. If you're out at a shop, you'll be paying a lot more gas, electric, rent, God knows what else. So You know what I mean? I would always buy from a business seller over a like a private seller on eBay. I don't buy anything from eBay anyway, but you just got you just I don't know. It's just you just feel like if it's a business, you've got more professionalism about it in general. I always say if you're just starting out on eBay selling a few things you find in your house, do you start yeah, that I mean that is it. That is the whole point. That's the private thing. That was what eBay did. Private resellers are that is their way of competing with Vinted. They say if you have got a few things and all that, like that threshold. What is it now? Did they raise it to like 3,000 now? I don't know. Well, if you're just selling a few things and all that, you're not a reseller, are you? You're just selling some old junk. But if you're going out purposely buying stuff and then selling it, you are classed as a reseller, right? That is you doing it part time, full time. If you're doing it, whatever you're doing, but you are actually going out and making money, right? You're trying to make money from buying stuff, right? That's what I hate about reselling when I'm selling my old stuff and I get my mom to sell it. I got loads of stuff from Kai's and it's just going on her Vinted account or eBay if it's expensive. I sold my Switch, which I shouldn't have actually done. So the tax man's going to tax me on my thing, and that's the only thing. I mean, I probably could claim it or and say this is personal. Maybe I don't know. My mom will have to sort that out because she does it all. But yeah, yeah, I just feel like certain resellers just want you to listen to them, and basically, if you're foolish enough, they'll let you'll they be brainwashed. Other ones are just very genuine. Other ones they show you what's good, but never show you what's bad, and then other ones are just like me, just show you the goods and the bads. I'm just me. This is me. I'm no different in person. Cheryl knows I'm no different in person. Cheryl's exactly the same. What you see on her channel, she's exactly the same. But she is being a bit fake on her channel because literally, if you met her in person, she swears every 5 seconds. Yeah, but then she wouldn't earn any money on YouTube because they demonetize it. So yeah, you can't swear on a YouTube unless it's a few times. You can get away with a few times. Yeah, see, that's why she's laughing. She knows. She'd have to beep herself out. It'll just be like beep, like flatlined. Bricks and mortar shop is way more than eBay. Yeah, it is. I'm proper now, competing with the big boys in YouTube. Your views are getting really good, but you're doing carboot ones. Wait until there's no carboots, then you'll see how good your views go. Yeah, your carboot videos always do better than anything else. They always do. But I thought you wasn't doing videos like that, show. You said you wasn't going to tell people what money in that. But your last few videos, which have got more views, which are a bit more like YouTubery, I spent 70 and made 1,000 quid. Yeah. You wasn't saying that. You was just going to pick up and stuff and just show them. You wasn't going to say how much. So, yeah. Your car boots all year round. Are they? You up north? Oh, you did say there's that one car boot that basically opens in snow, didn't it? That will be a very good video. You need to make sure when it snows, you go out and say, and if you pick up something good, say, I can't believe I picked up a 300 quid item in the snow. That is a crazy video. Or this seller tried to rip me off, so I threw a snowball at his face, and just have a snowball, and the seller going, don't mind paying for fees, but it feels like the algorithm just doesn't say. Yeah, the thing is though, I worked in retail, and why does every reseller show moans about it all the time? Why does every reseller moan about, oh, we don't get no sales? Oh, then apparently eBay's rubbish, right? Your items sell because people are wanting them, right? If you have something that's very popular, say if I had a Switch and I had 20 million of them, I'm going to sell them 20 million things probably quicker than Cheryl's bowl or whatever it is because hers is niche, right? And that's the thing. If you get very, very popular things, you're going to sell them quickly. But if you've got stuff that's, I would say, more luxury items, so like a toy, only so many people will want that toy because they like that figure of that character, blah, blah, whatever. So it all depends on that. And also its price as well. If you've got something that all the solds are like 50 quid and you're selling it for 50 quid and everybody else is trying to sell it for 50 quid, it's like, you're fighting against others. But if you put it at 30 quid, I guarantee it'd sell. And if it doesn't sell, that item's not a very good item to buy in the first place. So it's one of them, if you look in shops are dead sometimes. I used to work, like I said, in B&M. Some days would be absolutely quiet. Like Mondays would be busy because everybody's fed up. They got rid of the kids, so they're back out to the shop. Tuesday was absolutely dead always. Wednesday was a bit better. Thursdays was quiet, but it was busier around nighttime because we always did late night shopping. Fridays was always busy. Saturday weekends was payday week always ran, but the week before payday, especially like at the end of the week, was so quiet because no one had any money. And of course, it's the same with eBay. You always get busier times when it's payday. You always get more sales on certain times of the month. So it's one of them. And it also depends on what you sell. If you're like quite niche, like Cheryl, it's gonna be hit and miss. She'll have a good day and she'll sell something that's worth loads, and then another day she might not sell anything. If you're selling gaming stuff, you're probably selling stuff every single day because gaming stuff sells quite easy. But trying to find it, because every person in the world seems to want to get gaming, go into a carboot and go, you got any games? That's the problem. So yeah, I had some cameras on eBay for a week and was getting very low views. Put it on Vinted and they all sold over. Well, that's it then, But also you got to think, you got to put the title on eBay right? With Vinted, you could put camera and that's it. Literally, you could put camera and people who know how to search on Vinted will find it. It's one of them. Yeah, but there's more people now. More people use phones. More people buy stuff. There's more competition. That's the thing. You got to adapt. You got to adapt. You've got to see, show. If you bought, I know you got vintage stuff, but if you bought new stuff as well, then you've got both markets. So you can get the bread and butter stuff, which like the stuff I get, which is the bread and butter stuff. But then you've got the really nice stuff because that's your like luxury items. So if you bought like bits of tech, which like vinyl. I mean, I'm surprised you don't buy like vinyl record players and stuff like that because they sell. If you pick up a Sony vinyl record player, you can get about 50 to 60 quid for them, and they sell very quickly. So it's like, if you can't sell much, then you got to change what you're selling, and maybe expand. That's what I always say. That's why I sell anything, because then I'm always selling bits and bobs, And in the end of the day, as long as I make my money to pay my bills, do stuff with my son, I'm happy. That's all that matters. And I don't care. I've never worked for a company who earns as much money as the one on my last job was at Virgin Balloon Flights. That company made money all year round. Yeah, well, it's Virgin as well. Virgin. I've died to death. You died to death after 5 weeks. I just can't sell that other stuff. Maybe you have to try. I had somebody, you know, them chandeliers I got. Somebody wanted one, and they asked if it was antique brass or brass. It's not brass. It looks like it's brushed on. It's metal, but it looks like it's brushed like brass effect. I don't know, because they're a modern company. They're not antique company. But he wanted one, and I was asked how much I'd sell one for, and I said you can have both for 180. I didn't get nothing back, or you can have one for 150. I've got one for 300 quid. I gave loads of people offers of 200 quid, and I just think they're being nosy. Probably not people wanting them. You know, people probably got similar and want to sell themselves, and that's what I hate about the offers on eBay. You think, oh yeah, so you give them a proper good offer, and no one comes back, and you're not even interested in the first place. Do you try and avoid large, heavy items? I generally. Jack, how long have you been subscribed? You must not have been subscribed very long. Because you know I do heavy items. I used to be Texas Walker Ranger back in the day. I used to pick up walkers and everything. Wheelchairs. I've got walkers. Still haven't listed. Got wheelchairs. Yeah. I buy anything. If it gets money, I'll buy it. As long as it gets good money. Walkers I haven't bought them for a while now. Oh yeah. What delivery service would you use for a sofa and sideboards? Parcel Force. Parcel Force wouldn't send you wouldn't be able to send it with that. A sofa's too big. It's got to be 30 kg or under with Parcel Force. You'd have to use a like a proper delivery service, like custom delivery service, and it probably cost you about 70 quid, something like that. I would never buy sofas, never would buy furniture. If I was going to buy furniture, it would be like people to come and pick it up themselves. That's what I mean. Tables, chairs, stuff like that. I wouldn't even touch it, because you can make some good money out of it, but it's shipping it, and people don't want to pay the money for it. You know, even though you have to pay money for like all the big sofa company people, you know, still have to pay. But yeah, I wouldn't bother. Just put it as collect. Put it in the local papers, you know, like Facebook Marketplace. That's the best way. I was thinking today, even when it's quiet for me, I'm still paying bills and living well. Lots of people only talk about competing who makes the most. I'm happy. Yeah, that's what I mean. I don't really care. Cheryl, you could make a lot more money than you want to do. I could make a lot more money I wanted to. You know, you have got a young daughter. I have got a young lad, right? And that's our main thing. That's our main goal. We are in the same boat. I'm a bit luckier than you because I have my mom, and of course, your child goes away every other week, where mine doesn't. I have my son every weekend, obviously Monday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and then when it comes to holidays, I'm having him most of the time as well. But I don't want to miss my son growing up. I don't want to miss him, you know, his childhood. I'm not saying I do spend time with him every single minute. And he's got the law and the rule, well, the rule, not the law, that when I'm doing something, like if I pick him up, I will come and do some listing or something for a couple of hours. He will go then and play his game in a VR. That's our new rule. I don't want him to spend all his life on the internet or whatever. And I don't want to be doing this like now. He's not here, so I can do what I want. But yeah, when he's older and doesn't really care about me, then I can focus on making millions. I won't, because I'm too lazy. I'm happy with, as long as I can buy stuff. If I really want something, I will save for it. But yeah, the things I want are just like out of this league, too expensive. So Yeah. My son has autism, and so I started thrifting away. Need to take time off work. Well, you know what? You can still buy. People buy on Vinted and sell on eBay. You can buy. Think about buying pallets. I used to do that as when I first. I started by buying return pallets. You can get some good return pallets. I made like 1.5 grand off a pallet, and I paid like 350 quid. Sourcing boxes is an issue. Don't buy them. I've never bought a box in my whole life. Go to Home Bargains. That's where I get my boxes from. Yeah. If you want big boxes, go to Alfred's because they do like big, like what you call it, bike boxes. And also, I used to go to Decathlon, but I don't know if my Decathlon closed down, and I don't know if that's because the whole company's closed or it's just mine. But yeah, they do big boxes. Yeah, B&M, Home Bargains. You just go, can I have a cage of boxes, and I'll come back tomorrow, and they'll say yeah, unless the manager's a complete idiot. I think Amazon have a program which lets you send them stock and they will take care. Don't bother with Amazon. You will make no money. You have to buy everything brand new. Don't fall for them tricks. You'll make 20% off any sale. That's what it is. So if you make 100 grand in a year, you'll get 20 grand because they charge a fortune. So you see all these people on TikTok saying, and they're always young kids, aren't you? Never see an old man doing it. Oh yeah, let's go into here. Join our server. It tells you what's going cheap, and they'll go in and they'll go, yeah, and they'll buy all the stock. Oh, I can make £5 off this when I sell it on Amazon. Oh, you just spent 30 quid on it. They are not resellers. You know what I mean? And then they say, "Oh, join our code," and in which you have to pay like 14.99 a month. And that's if they get a good following. If you ever noticed where it's always like these trendy, hip, young kids, and they're brainwashing the younger kids to join them because they'll rent out a car or put a car on finance, and they'll put all their money together, and somebody will go on their finance and get a Mercedes like G wagon, and they'll just drive around in it. I've seen it before. It's a load of rubbish. Yeah, it rings you see. A cage about cage. Yeah, well, when you work in a shop, you have cages, metal cages, big massive metal cages where the stock comes on, or you can put stock on. So every shop has these big cages. It's like a big trolley, but it's like 6 foot tall. And then I go into Home Bargains. Right, I used to go into B&M. I go to Home Bargains, spoke to the bloke. I went, "Hi, I'm a reseller," and he goes, "What's that?" And I say, "Oh, I buy stuff and sell stuff on, but I need boxes." Um, I used to go to. I can't go to B&M because I say I say a story, but can I have some boxes, please? And then most of the time I'll say, "Yeah, we'll go into the back and see what I've got." I says, "Is there?" And then you go, "Is there any chance that if you could do a cage of it?" And then they'll say, "What do you mean?" I said, "Can you do a cage of boxes? You know what?" So, and then I'll come back tomorrow because they go through tons and tons of boxes. Yeah. And then I went in the day after and they got a whole cage, 6 foot tall. You should see my carport. It's full. Well, it's all nice and neat now. All different sizes. But the thing about B&M and like Home Bargains and all that, the boxes are probably so if you sell normal size stuff, medium parcel stuff, it's good for that stuff. But if you sell large stuff, obviously like Hoovers and that, I have to put two boxes together, which is a pain. I don't make money from reselling. Been doing it 2 years. This is due to reinvest and try to make into business. I can do full time. If it is, that's my dream. Cool, go for it. Yeah, I go to I go to the Donington one, Liam. I actually go to the Donington one. The manager there, he's sound. He is. Nah, you can even get tape. If you need tape, poly bags. So look at that. Go on one of my videos. All my links are down below. On my TikTok, I think I can't even remember how much I paid for. Mega cheap. I think they're like less than 50p a roll, right? So you can get any color. I got clear, and then I'll show you the bags that I've got. Oh. So there's the bags I get. What I have on TikTok. These are 19 by 14, so they fit most clothing. 100 of these for £8 or thereabout, and it's free shipping. Right, they're on my link. So if anybody's watching this and wants poly bags or tape, there is other stuff as well. There is other stuff on there. Go on there because it is cheap. You cannot get any cheaper, and it's good quality. I've been using it. I wouldn't use it, would I? I wouldn't waste my money on it. Right? I don't get paid unless you buy it, and I get like 50p. So yeah, I withdrew £100 out of TikTok. I think I made about 100 quid over 2 months. Do a little video. Go. This tape is awesome if you're a reseller. Blah blah blah. You know, blag them. Well, I don't blag them because it's good. This tape's good. Blah blah. I'm even that good. Ricky bought some silent tape off me and said it's not silent. Why aren't you bought any bags? Are you having it away with somebody who does all that stuff for you? And Home Bargains don't recycle their boxes. They don't recycle them. B&M does, but they don't care. People don't care. They don't really care. I worked for B&M. They don't care. Remember, these are just normal people. They don't care because they're that lazy. Most of them. They don't want to deal with the rubbish. And trust me, it takes some effort breaking down boxes and packing them, especially if you've got a baler. People just say, oh, you can have the boxes, here you go. Can't be bothered with that. Yeah, my mate works in Poundland and he gets me a load of small medium box. Much better than buying them. Yeah. If you have a shop, you can if you have a medium-sized shop, you can get boxes from eBay. They give you like a £10 voucher, which probably gets you about 1 box. Apparently, if you sign up to UPS, they give you free boxes. But I've got a UPS depot around the corner for me, but I've never ever looked into it because you have to, I couldn't be doing with reading all the T's and C's. As a tip, it's worth paying the extra 25p to list an item that promotes your item in the US and Canada. I never heard anyone mention it before. It's a small box to tick way down before you list the item. Never heard of that. I've never heard of that. I've never seen a box. Have you seen that show? I've never seen a box that. I sell stuff to America and that. Oh God, he's proper like going for it. There's my tick shop. Yeah, go in there, have a look. Anyone else knows it, that items sold in America were twice the price as UK's. Thing is, if you can't. It's weird the prices in other countries because they overprice them for people who might want to buy them from like our country. So if you if it's like a really like I know like a retro toy, and in America, it's pretty common. You could probably sell it to somebody in England for the price because they're desperate for it, but they probably won't sell it. Yeah, isn't I? Yeah. I mean, if you looked at our most successful resellers in this country, whichever you want to class as a most successful reseller, they would be like people in America would laugh at them. They'll be making, is that right? They're like flea markets. Some mass. If you just go on a YouTube from America, they have flea markets and they're massive. I mean, massive, and all the stuff's good as well. It all seems good. They have shops, thrift stores, and they're like big container. I remember watching this couple, and there's this thrift store where they have these. It must be like 6 foot deep, 6 foot wide containers, and it's just full of stuff. And so they'll have a clothing area where it's just full of a toy area, and everything's dirt cheap. And he's picking out stuff. He's like, "Oh, look at this teddy. This is a whatever. Oh, I could get about $15 for this. How much is it? $1 or whatever, and it's just crazy. And then you got the yard sales. That's the one thing. If I went to America, I'd love to go to the yard sales because they always seem to have like amazing. Oh, I'm just clearing out my garage. Yeah, this is my 1970 toy collection. How much do you want for it? Ah, $100. And it's like, oh, imagine that in England. I've done one. We have yard sales around ours, and oh yeah, they're rubbish. They're terrible. I used to get UPS bags and boxes. Um, I used big. Oh, you're a vintage seller. I use bin bags. It's kind of hidden, but I use like it should promote it anyway. I use promote listings, so it'd be promoted anyway. Not seen that. Yeah, I haven't. I'm off to bed. Too late for me. I'm too old. Yeah, you are old. Shame you're not coming to the meetup now, you boring old git. How do you manage when the car boots aren't on? I suppose Facebook Market would be a pickup and joke. Well, that's what I mean. At the start of the year, I mean, I did a video about it saying Facebook Marketplace was brilliant for me. Some of my biggest ever sales have been on Facebook Marketplace. I bought a load of vintage micro machines for like 20 quid, 25 quid. And I sold most of them to America for a few hundred quid each. Yeah, like a bundle of army, military micro machines. 50 military micro machines for about 100, 150 quid, 200 quid. Can't even remember. Loads. I had the Predator micro machine. So I had little Arnie and Predator. The micro machine didn't even know it. I had them. Crazy. Yeah, I did really well on Marketplace. But there doesn't seem to be as much on now. I think people are looking at eBay prices and people are selling stuff, and then obviously they're looking at eBay. You get the odd one, but you got to keep on looking all the time. It's just under postage option for international postage, which I do worldwide. You're not on global shipping program though, then are you? That's why we don't see it. We're on global shipping program. When you sell a lot, you don't have to promote anything. You just have global shipping market program. That's all you got. Yeah, I'm sure it is. All right then. I like black, red, black and red stuff. I want my face. I want my I don't know. I want. You can just do a few designs and let me just show me and just let me know. Black and red, bit of white, maybe like the banner, because I want it for my eBay as well. If you know what I mean, because I can have a banner for the eBay. I haven't got any of that. I can't be bothered. Pixie Gem, oh my God, where you been? It's just the picture what I use for my YouTube. You know, my that AI picture. Been busy. I hadn't seen you. I thought you disappeared. I thought you'd like unsubscribed or something. I've changed my meet as well. I didn't know if you was coming or not. I've changed it to the 5th. See, because I've got my name in it, I can't really do a good design. But it's yeah. Just a banner of some sort. I like graffiti. I like graffiti writing, by the way. I love all that graffiti stuff, but obviously that you can sort of read. All right then. That's no problem. Liam, go and type in Kaigoo. So it's KAIGOO. That all in one word, and then space shorts. Right? That's the channel that me and my son did on lockdown, and that's what my editing skills are like. I had the green screen and everything. Type in that and look for the one elimination, one chili thing. My son basically, he's really good at Fortnite. Well, he's better then than he is now. And every elimination, I had to eat a chili. So we had loads of different. I had loads of different chilies. I bought chili sauce and everything. And I'm just like this. It's hilarious. It's hilarious. I thought it's hilarious. We got loads of videos, but I want to start doing it again because I miss all them things. But it's trying to get around to it. That's why I want to get rid of all this stock and that. So then I buy a bit, list it, and then I got nothing to do, if you know what I mean. Yeah, I'll be doing a video. But you'll see I did a banner for that Kaigoo shorts. And that's like sort of graffiti. I want a black and red and maybe a bit of white in there. You know, like when you get the highlights around the letters and that, like to make it shine. You know what I know what I mean. When you have like highlights on the corners of things, and maybe my face, but not my face. Maybe in the middle. So John Shepherd's like in the bit of Shepherd. So I'll show you now. I'll do a quick design. And can you tell what it is yet? Shouldn't be saying that, Swole Farris. Right then. So it'll be. I want it all in. It'll have to be all in capitals, but obviously in graffiti. It might not work. To be fair, it might work. It might not be. If there's my face. But it might not work. But if not, maybe, or maybe I know, like a cartoon version. You know, like you got your cartoon version, but like a cartoon version, but different sort of cartoons. Because I know you can do it on GCP chat or whatever it is, and maybe me. I could have me laying down, like, or me like leaning on the S. So I'm there, and then leaning as a cartoon. You know, like on the S. So we've got John Shepherd Sells, and then me going like that on the S as a cartoon version, so I don't know if you can do that. We'll see how good you are. And then have it in like, obviously, you like your sort of graffiti sort of stuff like that. And then the black, I want it black. I want most of the banner black. So most of it black with maybe some like stars in it. If you get me, like ching ching things in it. Like, I'm really picky. Remember, I studied art and design. So yeah. See how good you are. And then the banner, I want it around. I want my face. Maybe obviously the cartoon face, maybe. The cartoon face. And then maybe like a sort of blackened, the same design as the banner, but with like John Shepherd Sells, like where you wrap it around the actual picture. So there's my face, and then you have the writing like John Shepherd Sells, but all like looks good. And then, or maybe if you can do the same effect graffiti but wrapped around my face, and then obviously that's my like your little cartoon face. That's my obviously my, what do you call that? What's it called? It's not called an avatar, is it? I can't remember what you call it. Your profile picture or whatever it is. That's it. Something like that. Yeah, but just you don't have to do it, but if you do, then fair play. Profile picture, yeah, that's it. Well, I've had quite a few people on here today, so that's pretty good. What time is it? Anybody got the time? I'm gonna stay on for 5 minutes, then I'm gonna go because I got football again tomorrow. And I'm thirsty. So I'll stay on for 5 minutes. Yeah, just no rush. Just take your time. I'd rather it be good than rubbish. I'm not saying you'll rush it, but just take your time. Because there'll be like, I know I could go on Chat GPT and say, do it. I could have it and say, write John Shepherd Sells in graffiti writing with a cartoon image of myself leaning against the S. You know what I want? Actually, you know what I want? If I can. Now, I don't really sell. If I was just doing gaming, you could just have like little bits of console and, like on the top, like have bits of like joy pads and stuff like that. But you could do. But what you're going to do? Put a bread maker on top of one. It just look rubbish, wouldn't it? Nah, just leave it like that. Because that'll be my YouTube banner as well. Because I don't think I'll YouTube banner. Obviously, it'd be my eBay banner. It'd be my multi banner for everything then. And then my that thing is probably more important than that because everybody sees that, when I comment, obviously on Vinted as well. Where's the muck? Hello, mate. I'm going in a minute. What position do I play? I'm a forward, so I'm a bit like a salad. I play on the wing. I like playing on the wing, but I can play anywhere at the front. I do not like defending. I can defend, but because I play with a mixture age group from anything from 18 to 70, there's not many 70s. There's probably 2, but they're pretty fit, to be fair. They're just as fit as me. Some people play, so we've got like a goalkeeper. He always plays in goal because he loves goalkeeper. We've got a couple of defenders that love playing in defense, and they're hard to get past. The one thing about me, I'm quite quick, so where I play on Mondays and Tuesdays, we play on like a full size pitch, but we play a half size pitch, like, because you can, and I can run past people a lot more, do a bit more what I want. On tomorrow and Fridays, it's a 5-a-side pitch cage, so it's really small. So it's like, if there's a lot of people tomorrow, I think there's 14 people, so I won't be running nowhere. But I'm quite low gravity to the floor, so I can weave in and out. I've done a video about it. I've done 2 videos. I did a GoPro football thing where I put the GoPro on the fence, and then another one where I put it on my chest, but I didn't film it as a football thing, so I can't remember what that one's called. But guys, I am actually going now because I said I was going in 5 minutes, and it's past now. So guys, thank you very much for coming. Right, tomorrow's video will be out about 6 o'clock. You gotta watch it because, yeah, I picked up something good today, and yeah, it's gonna get me a lot of money. Anyway, guys, thank you for coming. Liam, message me whenever you want, mate. So I will see you again tomorrow. I'm now going to go and get a drink. Okay, ciao.